Hey, Toda Y'all family at this time. May the peace of Y'all come upon you. I'm gonna try to do this video quick as possible that I can, brothers and sisters at this time. Brothers and sisters, to the utmost importance that we get the every words of Yah. We talking about the Sabbath. I'm gonna bring that, and so we gotta look back at some history and some dates and times, because I see a lot of confusion in our nation concerning the Sabbath and what time period that the different prophecy took place in. So I'm gonna cover as much information as possible to show you what our people did and show you the condition we are in and how we must get back to our Creator. So it's very important, brothers and sisters, because our people did a lot of things that was contrary to Yah, and other people came into our nation as well because of our ancestors, what they have done, and caused great harm. Yes. So these are the facts right here. So I'm starting off from the book of Hosea, chapter 2, but first I want to read just a little information to show you this time period. It says Hosea belongs to the northern kingdom and began his prophetic career in the last years of Jeroboam, Jeroboam the second, 786 to 746 BCE. So around that period of time, brothers and sisters, this prophecy took place. Because you're going to learn, and when you go back and check the history, the nation called Syria, and they were ruling in the empire, came in and expelled the northern nation. Took many of them to back to Syria and to down into Egypt, like the Father told them they will return. That was part of the curse of the 9 tribes. I know some people say 10, but it's 9 because the Levites are separated and went back down there to the southern kingdom and strengthened the nation of Benjamin and Yada, and they were known as the 3 nations that was part of that made up the southern nation. So brothers and sisters, with that, chapter 2 verse 11, I'm gonna go right into what y'all announced upon them. Right here in chapter 11, this was part of the curses. The punishment came upon our nation. It said, "Thou shalt cause all her rejoicing, her they got festival, which is feast, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, even all her appointed times, to cease to stop." When the invading army of the Syrians came in and expelled them out of the land, that's when Abiyah stopped them. Many of them got killed. A lot of them got taken away as slaves down into Egypt. All this is in the writings right now. I'm just going over it briefly, which because there's so much to cover. I can't get it all in this video, so I'm going to do what I can. Brothers and sisters, it's to the utmost important that I bring this to you at this time. And so with that, in chapter 3, and I'm going to read chapter 3 and verse 4 right here. Start with verse 4. It's right here. It say right here. Let me get it. It said, "For many days the children of Yashael, that's talking about the north, are to remain without a sovereign, and without a prince, without a slaughtering, and without a pillar, and without shoulders garments or house idols." It said, "Afterwards the children of Yashael shall return and seek Yah, their Barah, and Dawid, their sovereign, and fear Yah and his righteousness in the last days." See, in the last days, talking about the end time of captivity. Remember, I was showing you in my video before how the branch of Dawid will rally and gather the 2 nations, and then they will become one. So the jealousy shall be removed from them. So keep all of these things in mind as I show you this. So that was for that translation. I want to read verse 4 again from this particular translation right here in chapter 3 real quick. Chapter 3 and chapter 3 verse 4. Let me get it right here. And it reads, it said, let me get my focus on 3 verse 4. It said, "And the people," it start focusing on like I want to yet, family. It said that the people. It said the people of Yashael Yah, my likeness is kind of messed up at the moment. Where I'm located at the moment. It said, and the people of Yashael Yah should be turned back. Okay, let me go up. I was in the wrong verse. It said, for the people of Yashael Yah shall remain many days without a king or a prince, without they got sacrifice but the slaughtering or sacred pillars, and without ephah or house idols. And then the people of Yashael Yah shall turn back and seek Yah their Barah and Dawid their king. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. The king is talking about from the seed of Dawid. But they ever did, they seek Dawid their king. But other scriptures plainly tell you the king that will sit on David's throne, because the throne was always going to be named after King Dawid. But the branch, the seed, offspring of Dawid will be the reigning king, because he is the one that's going to bring the nation together and go back home. I showed you that in the last video. So keep that in mind as I'm going to go to the book of Malachi at this time. And show you some information there that is very important. Hopefully I can cover all this in the video. So I show you over 2,700 years ago, this when this prophecy took place. The northern nation got put out. Yah rejected them because they rejected Yah, brothers and sisters, and did all the evil things that you will see as well. What the northern nation done, the southern nation, Yah, did even worse than them. Yes, Yah, Levites, and did even worse than the northern nation, brothers and sisters. And that was the judgment Yah put on the northern nation. There'll be many days without us offering. Showing you right there, the offerings of Yah is returning. So he said he didn't abandon and stopped it forever. He said they're going to be out many days without a king, a prince, and without a slaughtering an offering. So keep that in mind. Showing you nobody never came to die for our sins, our ancestors' sins. Not at all. Because the northern nation never entered back into the land. Even after the southern nation got put out and returned. And they got put out again. Now, until this day. But right now, let us concentrate on the prophet book called Malachi. Let's go there real quick. I hope I get all this in and show you all this information, because it's some very important information I want to share with you. So in this time period right here, let me get there, give me a moment. Right here. I wish that I had more light and I was in a better place, but right now my children all throughout the house. So right here, in this time period right here, say 455 BCE. So this moved up a little bit, like 200 years, 300 years later, around that period of time. And this time period is heavily concentrated only on the northern nation. The southern nation, Yada, Benjamin, and the Levites, because the rest of the nation been out of the land, vanished. Now we're talking about here, around this period of time, period right here. So we're going to concentrate on that. When the people, the works were composed by an anonymous writer shortly before Nehemiah arrived in Yashalom, 453 BCE, so short before that time period. Because during that time, this time here, we talking about the time of the captivity of Babylon, the first beast. So keep that in mind, what we're dealing with right here. So I want to read this information right here. It said, it gives you some information about what's in this particular book called Malachi, the messenger of Yah. Right here it say, the chosen people had made a sorry return. They got to be for divine, for the Creator love. It said the priests who should have been leaders had dishonored Barah, they got God, but it's Barah, the Creator, by their blemish, offerings in its first chapter. So keep that in mind. I want to show you that what the priest done is very important, brothers and sisters, dealing with bringing defiled offerings to Yah. So keep that in mind. That was on their return after they came from Babylon, after the 70 years. I'm gonna talk more about that when I get into the book of Daniel. So keep that in mind. I wanted to show you with that piece as I'm gonna go to chapter 1 and read down to verse 14. Right here, I was in a better sense because I'm sitting down and got the book in my lap, so I got to keep adjusting. And I hate doing that, but at the time I didn't want to be around the noise at this time because my children cooking. So let me keep reading, brothers and sisters, right here. It said, in verse 1, it said, Yashael preferred to Edom. It said, I have loved you, says Yah. But you say, how have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says Yah? Yet I love Jacob, but hated Esau. He said, I made this mountain a waste. So keep in mind, he's made a waste. His heritage a desert for the jackals. He said, if Edom say, we have been crushed, but we will rebuild the ruins, which they did. So keep that in mind. They rebuilt the ruins. Thus saith Yah of hosts, they indeed may build, but I will tear down. See? And they shall be called the land of guilt. See? All y'all was foretelling these things. He knew they were going to rebuild, which they did. He said, the people with whom Yah is anchored forever. He said, your own eyes shall see it. And you will say, great is Yah, even beyond the land of Yashael. See, beyond the land of Yashael, he's telling you this, when we return home for the last time, we're going to see the destruction of Esau right there. See, he said, and they shall, excuse me, he said, your own eyes shall see it. And you will say, see the defining destruction, because we are the ones going to do it. I brought that out in my last video. I'm going to bring it out again in my next video. So keep that in mind. I want you to contemplate on it. It's very important. Because this, when we return home and recapture our land, he said, your eyes shall see it. You will say, great is Yah, even beyond the land of Yashael. See, beyond our borders. So keep that in mind. Let's keep going. It says, sons honor his father, and then he get back to talking about our nation. And his servant fears his master. If then I am your father, where is my honor due to me? If I am a master, where is the reverence due to me? Says Yah of hosts, to you, O priest. See, he was designating this to the priest, because the priest would bring the offering. Let's get into it. Who despise his name. But you ask, how have we despised your name? By offering polluted food on my altar. You see that? Then you ask, how have we polluted it? By saying the table of Yah may be slaughtered. Let me make sure I got that word right. Slighted. When you offer a blind animal they got sacrifice, but it's for offerings. See, it's a blind animal for offering. Is this not evil? He said, when you offer the lame or sick, is it not evil? See, the priests were doing all these things, brothers and sisters. And this was when they returned back home and the third temple was built. Presenting it to your governor. He said, present it to your governor, see if he will accept it or welcome you, says Yah of hosts. So now if you implore Barah for mercy on us, when you have done the light, will he welcome any of you, says Yah of hosts? He said, oh, that one among you will shut the temple gates to keep you from kindling fire on my altar in vain. He said, I have no pleasure in you, says Yah of hosts. Neither will I accept any of your offerings, see, from your hands. For from the rising of the sun, even to the resetting, my name is great among the nations. See, there was a future prophecy saying it's going to be great among the nation, and everywhere they will bring offerings to my name and a pure offering. For great is my name among the nations, says Yah of hosts. But you have profaned me towards me, but you behave profanely towards me by thinking. Yah's table is by thinking that Yah's table and its offering may be polluted. See, that's how they were thinking. And its food slighted. See, unimportant. And you also say, what a burden, and you scorn it, says Yah of hosts. This was the priest's actions and thinking. And you bring in what you seize, or the lame, or the sick. Yes, you bring it as an offering. Should I accept it from your hand, says Yah? Cursed is the deceiver who has in his flock a male, but under his vow offerings to Yah a gilding. For great king am I, says Yah of hosts, and my name shall be feared among the nations. I wish I had better lighting, but right now I'm in a poor location, brothers and sisters. I'm fighting through this video, but I'm going to keep going. See, this is what our nation done, and that was the mindset of the king. Bring all these defiled, detectable things to Yah, dishonor his name. So you can see how the severe punishment came down upon our nation, brothers and sisters. This was when they was back in the land. After they came from out of the 70 years that we're going to get into, I'm going to go to the book of Daniel. I'll show you that real quick, because this is very important. Remember what he said about Esau as well. They rebuilt their territory. But Y'all said with our own eyes, we're going to see their destruction, brothers and sisters, when we return home. So keep that in mind. Because at that time, brothers and sisters, during the time of Malachi, in that time period, and now we talking about 2,400 years ago, around that period of time, brothers and sisters. What was going on? I was just covering with you. So keep that in mind. We talking about 2,400 years ago, around that period of time, when all of these things was taking place in that area, and our people defiled it. It was acting corrupt before Yah and bringing defiled animals to Yah. The priest was doing this. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. So right here, we're looking at Daniel. So right here in Daniel, I'm trying to get to it. Right here, say, see, this is time period around. If I could get to it, I'm trying to see 538. My light. See 538. BC, around that period of time. This is also around the time when it was in Babylon. So keep that. I want you to keep that in mind. But he was talking about future prophecy. As I'm gonna go to chapter 9 to show you something. Chapter 9, verse 24. Is very important. I'm gonna try to get much as possible. If I don't finish this video, in the conclusion, read Zephaniah chapter 3:8 and tell you the state we should be in, mourning. To return home, brothers and sisters, to keep the feast time. Because remember, we talk much about offerings. And right here, it showed you when the destruction and the takeover by this fourth beast. Now we talk about the fourth beast. This information was given during the time of the first beast, but it talked about that. I was talking about, he got the revelation about the fourth beast, how this evil one was going to come in and set up the abomination of desolation. And the Maccabees withheld them for a period of time. That was around 2,100 years ago. But they got taken out the way too, brothers and sisters, before I get into the story. I'm covering that piece before I get into it to show you. So chapter 9, let me get into it. It's very important because it got some very important information. Chapter 9 and start off with 24 right here. See right here, it says 70 weeks are decreed for your people and for your Kodesh city See, the 70 weeks are the 70 years that they was in captivity in Babylon, the first beast. For your people and for the Kodesh city. And then the transgression will stop and sin will end. The guilt will be expiated. And everlasting justice will be introduced. See, it's going to be introduced. It's an everlasting justice, but our people did not walk in the justice of Yah. See, they rejected the everlasting justice. So keep that in mind as well. It's a visions and prophecy ratified. And the most Kodesh will be anointed. It's a know and understand this from the utterance of the word. That Yah Shalom was to be rebuilt until one who is anointed and a leader there shall be 7 weeks. So keep that in mind. During 62 weeks, it shall be rebuilt. See, which it was during the time of Nehemiah and Zerubbabel. So keep that in mind. And Yahshua, the priest that was dead, the high priest. So keep that in mind. It's with streets and trenches in the time of affliction. See, in the time of the second temple built in a great time of affliction. They had hardship even building that temple. They said they was building with sword in one hand and a hammer in the neck. So keep that in mind. It's after 62 weeks, anointed shall be cut off. See, the anointed shall be cut off at that time. And see, it said, let me go back here. It says 70 weeks, the anointed will come. The only person we had was anointed at that time was Cyrus of Persia. That made a decree so the people go back home. And all the kingdoms of his, whoever wanted to go back home, could go back home and rebuild the city. That's what took place. So eventually he died. So keep that in mind as well. That was the last Messiah of Yah on earth. It's right here. It says, after 62 weeks, anointed shall be cut off, cut down. When he does not possess the city. See, the anointed, he did not possess the city. And the people of a leader who will come. See, a people of the leader who will come are the Greeks. So keep that in mind. The fourth beast came and shall destroy the temple. So keep that in mind. Since the people of a leader will come and shall destroy the temple. See, this is the second temple. They said Tyler was the one, but it's still the fourth beast. They say Rome, but it's still the European people. It says, see, but the people of and the people of a leader who will come shall destroy the temple. And then the end shall come like a tyrant. Until the end there shall be war. See? You see, even to the day, it's still war taking place in the earth. The desolation that is decreed. For 1 week he shall make a firm compact with many half the week. And he shall abolish, see, the offerings, which he shall stop it, and the oblations. See, to Yah, all of this got stopped. Brothers and sisters, until this day. Because these nations are still in our land. So keep that in mind, what I'm showing you right here. I want to show you this. I'm going to skip a little bit, then we'll come back up. So let me read this and say, right here, say, and the temple wing shall be horrible abomination unto the rules that is decreed. It is poured out upon the harvest. So let me go to something I want to cover real quick. Hold on. I want to show you something if I can find it real quick. Okay, right here. Let me show you this real quick. I wanted this verse 11. Chapter 11. Chapter 11. I'm jumping over to chapter 11. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go to this end because this is very important if I don't get all this in the video. Verse 41. Chapter 11, verse 41 of Daniel. It says, he shall enter they got glorious land, talking about the Kodesh land, And many shall fall, except Edom, Moab, and the chief part of Ammon, which shall be escaped from his power. And he shall extend his power over the countries, and not even the land of Egypt shall escape. And he shall control the riches and of gold and silver, and all the treasures of Egypt, Libya, and Ethiopia shall be in his train, see, under his power. This are the fourth beast, so keep this in mind, brothers and sisters. But except he did not overcome Edom, Moab, and Ammon. I'm gonna come more about that to show you how they still stay. Remember, y'all said we gonna see it with our own eyes. So I jumped over something to show you that point in case I can't get the rest of this video, because that's so important that you may know this, brothers and sisters. It's important to the utmost that you know Edom is still dead. Ammon and Moab is still dead. Ammon and Moab not Chinese or Japanese like a lot of falsehood people telling you, brothers and sisters. But y'all said we're going to see this with our own eyes, brothers. So let me see, can I get the rest in here? So right here, it's I'm going to right here. Chapter 11. I'm going to go back. Chapter 11. Y'all was showing him then y'all what's going to take place. Chapter 11, verse 30 right here. It said, when the ships of Kittim, such as they say, Rome, confronted him, he shall lose heart and retreat. And then he shall direct his rage and energy against the Kodesh covenant. See, and those who forsake it shall once more single out, and armed forces shall move at his command and defile the temple and stronghold, and abolishing the daily offerings, see, and setting up the horrible abominations. By his deceit he shall make some who were disloyal to the covenant apostatize, see, coming under their belief. But those who remain loyal to their Baal shall take strong action. And the nation wise men shall instruct the many, though for a time they will become victims of the sword, see, and flames, and exile, and plunder. When they fall, few people shall help them, but many shall join them out of treachery of the wise men. Some shall fall, so that the rest may be tested, refined, and purified until the end time, which is still appointed to come. You get that, brothers and sisters? So take these things to heart what I'm showing you, brothers. It's very important. I'm going over some history to show you what came upon our nation. And I'm showing you around 100 AD, about around 2100 years ago, brothers. All of this took place. The Greeks was all up in there. Rome was people from Italians or whatever. They had conflicts with each other. Our brother and sisters, they came in, they defiled it. They stopped the orphans of our people. Our people succumbed to them, the disloyal ones. So all of this took place, and that's the same time period around the Maccabees was on the scene. It was stood up for a time period. And that show you right there the time period. We never had no Messiah, brothers and sisters. Not at all. And that's why I say on return, the offering is going to be reinstated. We know all of these things, brothers and sisters. These are other things that show you the time period of our people actually being put out of the land. Y'all showed Daniel these things. Daniel got sick for a period of time out of all the horrible things that came. If you go read the book of the Maccabees, and so what the Greeks done to our people during the time period. And the resistance of our people, the loyal. We had, just like today, we got loyal people and disloyal people to y'all in our nation. The same setup. We know back then. Our people turned away from Yah. The priest did these things. The king did these things. Brothers and sisters. And that's what I just showed you. And these are things we got to meditate. In a certain way, we got to come back to Yah. I'm see, can I end it off with that real quick? Hosea. See right here, 3:18 real quick. This is the mindset we should all have, but all don't have because all like the knowledge of Yah. It tell you plainly right here what Yah said. He said, I should gather those who grieve about the appointed time, who are among you, to whom it reproach is a burden. See, as a reproach is a burden because we're not at home keeping these things. Because remember how we got put out because our ancestors sinned. He allowed the Greeks to come and do what they do to stop it. It's the offering. See, it's a see. I am dealing with all those afflicting you at that time, and I shall save the lame and gather those who were cast out, and I shall give them for a praise and for a name in all the earth where they were put to shame. You see that? And at that time I shall bring you in, even at that time I gather you, for I shall give you for a name and for a praise among all the people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, says Yah. These are the words of Yah I show you, brothers. A lot of people fight against these words of Yah. They don't know the words of Yah. They don't go back and trace all our history and what took place. Our people still offering up offerings to Yah. The loyal ones was until the time they all got put out of the land or killed by the Greeks. The Greeks were the last people had dealing with our people, brothers and sisters. And they in the land today with all the other nations that is in our land. Moab still got their land. Am still got part of their land. And Esau rebuilt their land. The Father show you these things. These are things you got to meditate on, brothers and sisters. I'll show you the prophecy, all these different time periods. When you track these time periods, brothers and sisters, you can see the different things. You got to know our characters, our condition, our mindset. Brothers and sisters, it show you. And that's why the Father said right here, Malachi, y'all, I'm going to end it off with this. This is going to be our mind after, when we get clean, brothers and sisters. It say right here. Let me get to it real quick. If I can get this thing to focus in, I can end it off with this. It said, and he shall set as a refiner and a cleanser of silver, and he shall cleanse the sons of Levi. Remember they became defiled. I read that to you. And refine them as gold and silver, and they shall bring, and they shall belong to Yah, bringing near a offering in righteousness. You see that? You get that in righteousness? Remember what the priests did. They were bringing defiled, but now they're going to turn with a change of heart and bring an offering in righteousness. And then shall the offering of Yah and Yah Shalom be pleasing to Yah, as in the days of old, as in former years. Keep that in mind. With that, I'm about to say to that, but now you know there never was a Messiah, brothers and sisters, that came to die for our sin and was a sin offering for us. When the priests be clean, they're going to wrap back into the state they was and before they started going crazy and doing what they were doing that caused all the other people to sin, got our nation put out. And then the Greeks came in and shut everything down by the will of Yah. With that, I say Todah Yah. I don't know if I said it or not.